Morning, guys. How are you? I know it's early, but here we go, 7 o'clock. I think it's day 10. That's what we're going to call it, okay? So 26 days of you, day 10. Let's get first things first out of the way. I was going to start with what did you dream about, but I know you wrote that down for me, so we're going to start with gratitude statements. What's your gratitude statement this morning? If you haven't had time to do that yet, stop for a minute. Think about what you're grateful for. Don't just think about it, feel it. Remember, I wrote down mine. Every morning you do kind of the same thing. You get in a routine sometimes, and I roll over and hold my wife and wake her up because I know she doesn't want to get up early and let her go back to sleep. But I'm always grateful for her and her love and our relationship. This morning I wrote down some things that the opportunity to change people's lives is something I'm extremely grateful for. Not that I'm taking credit for changing people's lives, because I'm not. One of my quotes that I came up with a long time ago, and it fits my personality really well. I'm the mirror, not the reflection. So as I stand in front of people and help them, really what I do is just help them uncover who they truly are. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity. And I'm also extremely grateful for the opportunity to help Sarah's dreams come true. That's my life's purpose, is to help her dreams come true. And I'm very grateful for that. Also very grateful for the time that I've had with my children, and the time that I get to have that I'm having now with my children. As they grow up, the time spent changes, and I've still got my oldest one at home, my youngest one at home, and I know pretty soon he's, with his intelligence and his drive, he's going to be on his way. But right now he's home with us, and we're enjoying that while he's finishing up some of the school here. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that we have on the immediate horizon. I can see it. I can feel them. They're right there. And I'm extremely grateful for it. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's my gratitude statement. I hope you guys had yours this morning. And I started with that because when I go back to dreams, I want to share with you a piece of what I had that's going to lead into what we're talking about today. The two things, right? That I'm going to touch on. One, be careful what you wish for. I've got great stories about that. And two, how to live with purpose. And when I wrote that down, I have a lot of questions about it. So we'll use that maybe we'll go forward with some of those things as I look at life. But so today, let's talk about the dreams real quick. Last night I dreamt that, and this ties into some conversations I had with some students yesterday. There were some extremists. When I say extremist, it can be extremist in any type of group, right? Any nationality, any sociological, any group can have extremists. And these extremists had infiltrated our lives and stuck their hands in the heart of some of the people I love and started changing their mind about what they really believed in. And they did it in such a way where it didn't seem like they were changing or destroying anything, but in the long run, they had. They started really destroying not only these people's relationships, but the relationship with me. And I guess it was kind of a selfish dream, but it was a dream based on a conversation I had. I know when I woke up where the thought came from. And I wonder if you guys have that kind of situation in your life too, where you've met extremists who might mean really well and who really think that what they're passionate about is the end all be all right thing to do. And they've tried to change your mind or change your life about something. When they don't, they get angry or combative. And if they do, you find that your whole world changes because you have to shift the way you live just to meet the expectations of this group. I'm curious, and it's going to tie into something I want to talk to you about, which I'm very uneducated in. Okay, I'm going to set this up. I know very little about, and I'll share that with you in a second. So dreams, it woke me up, and I was wondering if you feel the same way about extremists. And it can be any group, right? It can be the we like Pepsi better than Coke group. I don't know, but do you feel it necessary to push your beliefs on other people is my big question. And is that necessary for change? That's a big question, right? Is it necessary to push your beliefs or feelings on other people? And is that necessary for change? Well, the argument could be both ways, I know, as a philosopher. But just ponder it, think about it as we talk about this, because the next thing I want to talk about is this gender neutrality thing, okay? And like I said, I'm very uneducated in this, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. I love you for who you are, period. And what I don't understand in my personal life, because I've never had to personally deal with it. I mean, I've had students, I've had friends, I've had everybody, and I've had people in my life that not really struggled, but have dealt with this. Okay. But this whole, don't call me this, don't call me that. I think it's ridiculous. If you are uncomfortable, it's because of a paradigm or a belief that you've instilled in your mind and your body about how others see you. And that's nonsense. Don't let that get to you. So I had a conversation the other day, and this individual wasn't struggling with their own gender neutrality. It was a loved one's gender neutrality. And I really didn't have any answers because they have a certain belief about life, and this other person is unsure about their life. And there's an extremist. And listen, there are extremists in every group. And there's an extremist pushing their agenda on this family member. Well, my feeling about extremists is back the hell up. Okay. You let people live and find for themselves. If they seek you out for information, advice, please give it to them in a neutral way so that they can find out for themselves what things are. But don't push your beliefs on somebody else. And I watch it happen to a lot of kids that don't know what's happening. The younger kids that see this out there and see it happening and think, well, maybe that's me, or maybe, and then this group just pounces on them. And I know it's not everybody, but they pounce on them and, yes, this is how it has to be in this. No, freaking knock it off. Let people be who they are. They love who they want to love. They feel how they want to feel. If you're a man who's a little bit effeminate, have at it. If you're a lady who's a little more, not manly, but, you have I don't know what you would call, man type behaviors. What's the difference? A little more, I don't know, because to me, those tags, those titles, those monikers are physical. They're not emotional to me. They're not spiritual. They're not. If you have a body of a man, that's a man. If you have a body of a woman, that's a woman. How you feel inside is really, you should be good with that, right? You should be good with that. I'm totally good with it. And you don't need to put a stamp on it, and you don't need to push it on other people. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm uneducated about this. I've experienced younger students come through here that thought they might be gay in junior high and high school and even younger. And fine, as long as you're not hurting people or, sexual relations at too young of an age or things like that, and doing drugs, don't do that. But all of the things that go with it, explore and find out and move on with it or through it or past it, whatever you need to do. And I've watched it happen, but I've also watched those students reach out to that community, and that community try to tag them. And in one extreme circumstance, one student went way too far, changed, and later found out it was the wrong choice. And now it's too late. And because they're very young. And when I say young, I don't dismiss the intelligence of our youth, because there are some youth that are extremely intelligent, just like all, right? And then there are some that don't know yet. So that's my rant. But I couldn't help the person I was speaking to, one way or the other. I know that these extremists were threatening him on his beliefs because he believes one way, and pushing it off on another person. So I don't know. I that's what I disagree with. I disagree. Any extremist at this point, okay, this is today. My mind could be changed. It really can. But I think that an extremist in any group should not force their agenda on other people. It's not necessary. People are people. You love them for who they are. If they're excuse the language, dickhead, you don't have to respect them or like them, but they're still a person. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. So just know that I love you, and however you feel, as long as you're not mean, hurtful, bully, and I still love you, but I'm going to love you in a different way if I catch you. Just be nice to everybody and love everybody. Okay. And if you have questions about how you feel inside, it's okay. It's great to talk to people, but be careful of the extremists. Okay. Be careful of people that are going to drag you into their position, because that's the only way to be. And then don't stress. I've got a beautiful student who just went from female, who's in the process of female to male. We've known her for a lot of his life, excuse me. And I'm totally on board with it, because I knew even back then that this person kind of was more that way than the other. The choice to do the hormone thing and stuff, it's a personal choice. I don't agree with myself with doing things to your body that may hurt you. So as long as it's a safe decision, have at it. But I love you all the same. I would have loved you without it. So that's that. And it was the extremist idea. Okay. So I'm sorry about ranting. And again, I'm very uneducated to this, and I love everybody. So just take it for what it's worth. Okay. How were your, sorry, right? How were your decisions yesterday? Yesterday, I put it to you to notice the good decisions that you make. Don't pay attention to the decisions that break up and mess up. Wait, excuse me. Pay attention, put those in their place. Notice that, okay, that wasn't exactly right. So when you need to make that decision again, you have that information. But I really want you to focus on the positive ones. Did you eat right? Did you sleep well? Did you get enough sleep? Did you clean? Did you take a different route to work? Did you not yell at the crazy driver who forgot to put their turn signal on and ran a red light? Or tailgated you at 55 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone? Or better yet, the 3 people I followed home from Kalkaska last night, 3 different instances that were on their damn phone with, I swear one of them was Facebook. I pulled up behind him at the stoplight and he was Facebooking while he was driving. I did not yell. I did not honk. I was a good boy. Because there was a big truck in front of him, and if he was going to run into it, it was going to hurt his car more than the truck. But anyway, did you make a good decision? That was a good decision for me. I didn't let it bother me, or did I? It just came out weird, didn't it? Anyway, I wanted you to focus on that. How about the law of attraction? Did you pick your holy crap goal? If you didn't, and you've missed yesterday's video, what I asked is to pick a goal that you want. Pick something you want to change or you want to have in your life that you know is attainable, but it's up there in the top echelon, the highest realm of, yeah, that's what I need. That's what I want. Relationship, house, money, job, happiness, whatever. Did you do it? Did you close your eyes and imagine that it was already yours? Make it happen. If you missed yesterday's, go back and check it out for the exercise. But we've got to exercise that just like a muscle. You've got to flex it every day to make sure that it's still there. Okay, sharpen that tool. Law of attraction, make it happen. Along those lines, let's stay with my notes here. How to shift out of autopilot. This is something I'm going to do a lot more research on, because as we make goals and we set that mark and we map out a map, sometimes we can get into a routine, which is good, but it can become automatic, and we're no longer consciously paying attention to the growth that we're making. I think that it's important to have those habits in place so that when you start to lose traction, you can continue the habits till you get back to the focus. But it's really important to shift out of autopilot and consciously every day know that you're making progress in a direction that's right for you. That sensory acuity is important. If you get off course, you can get right back on course again. So this is something I'm going to be researching for future. Miss Quinn posted in here. She said, Jim and I had made a huge decision a couple months ago. Last night, he helped me with making decisions, made 5 goals last night that worked towards the holy crap decision. Yeah, right on. This is what I love. And recently, listen, I want to tell you, I appreciate you guys. I get bogged down with this sometimes. Like maybe I'm not reaching as many people as I want. And then all it takes is 1 or 2 people to walk up and go, every morning when I tune in, if I miss it, I catch it. This is exactly what they said. If I miss it, we catch it later. And it seems that when you talk, you hit it on the head. It's something that I needed to hear today, or it's something I've been thinking about, and you get it. And my wife tells me the same thing. She says, whenever you feel something, talking to me, that it's usually somebody else is feeling the same thing. And I know that. I believe we're quantumly tangled. We're one, right? We're all one. And I know that my rants go, boom. And I think the reason for that is I channel your energy. I try to connect with you guys, and I let it go. And whatever I feel, you're going to hear. And I hope it helps. I really do. But all it takes is that one or two people to come in and give me a big hug like yesterday, guys, in Calcasco. Thank you. Several of them. And say, yeah, you made a difference. And I love that. So I'll be back here until it stops. All right. So good. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. How to shift out of autopilot. That's what I'm going to be working on. Okay. Pretty cool. Be careful what you wish for. Now, I've been thinking long and hard on how to approach this for you, because I know I have many people in my life that are God-fearing, good Christian folk. Okay. They are. As a matter of fact, one of my cousins is the pastor, I think is what you call him, of a cowboy church in Arizona. And I love that. I want to go down there and hang out with them, just see what that's about. So I love that. And then, my grandmother, when she, bless her heart, she was the most religious person and nicest person I've ever met. And of course, her kids, my mother, my aunts, my uncles also grew up that way. So I know they're out there. So as I approach this next subject, I'm going to approach it from a couple of different sides. Okay. And I don't want either side to be mad at the other. Okay. This is me showing you that we're all one, really. And our beliefs, whether it's religious or not, really are all about the same thing. The good ones anyway. Okay. The good feelings. So whether it's God giving you and testing you for what I'm about to talk. Remember, the title of this is Be Careful What You Wish For. So pray for, want, ask for, ask and you shall receive, right? But you have to ask intelligently. Remember that. And we're going to get to that right now. So whether it's God giving it to you or not giving it to you, because we're going to discuss that, the opportunity to make it, or the universe, if you have that belief that you put it out in the universe and the universe provides, which is kind of the same thing if you think about it, right? Meditation is like prayer. You don't have to believe in a deity or a church or any of that to be a good person and have these wonderful feelings in your life. So both sides, right? There's probably other sides, but let's just go with those two. Whether it's God and his divine wisdom or the universe that's providing for you, I think we're both on the same page. Okay. I have the other couple of days ago, I have a friend that's a good friend. And I know she's not going to be mad at me, but I'm going to put this out there anyway, who has had a relationship that was not the perfect relationship. And again, I've said this and you've heard me say it. Sometimes the two best people can get together and not work together. It's not either one of their faults. It's not working, right? So there's nobody at fault. Well, sometimes there is, but let's just say a few times there's really nobody at fault when a relationship goes sour. It's both parties, okay? So my friend, and they're both my friends, was in a bad relationship and suffering with, trying to change the other person, which isn't going to happen. You don't change people, okay? They change themselves for themselves, and that's just what happens. So the struggle there was the expectations that this other person could be changed. And as they grew and became who they are, and she grew and became who she is, they grew apart. And it happens. So they struggle a couple of years, right? At least. And the other day, there were divorce papers served. She was served with divorce papers. And the first reaction was, can you imagine divorce papers? And I had to stop her and go, no way. Isn't this really what you wanted? Isn't this really what you've been asking for the whole time? A chance to break free from a relationship that was not beneficial for both of you. And she stopped, say, yep, you're right. But the initial knee-jerk reaction was, what's going on? And it's like, no, wait. You wanted this. You were reaching for this, maybe in not so many words, right? But it be careful what you wish for. And sometimes when you wish for things, you have to ask intelligently. Ask and ye shall receive. Well, I want more money. Here's $1. Now you got more money. Well, that's not really what I meant. Well, that's not what you said, right? Don't go asking God for more money. People do all the time, though, right? But so she got what she was asking for, and now she's faced with a paradigm shift. She needs to decide what this means to her. This is an instance that's taking place inevitably, or in the back of her mind. She knows this is what needed to happen. And now I think if they do this productively, because you don't have to hate people, they'll both grow independently. And it's probably going to be the best for both. I'm not one to judge. I'm just saying that that's usually how it happens, right? If they can maintain a positive connection and not be hateful toward each other, because that hate that you develop just to be able to let go of something is usually what destroys not only you, but relationships all around this whole thing. And it sets up that bad negative wave that will continue until you can surf away from it. So my wish for you is that you can remain calm and positive through the face of all the tragic and turmoil that other people will be putting on you. People will see divorce and they'll give you advice that's not, screw him, well, screw her, and take this and do that. And no, 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 no. Come on, people. You loved each other at one time. I think you can calmly work it out. Am I right? Let me know if I'm right. I'm sure I'm right. If I'm not right, I'm right. Okay. Anyway, be careful what you wish for. I did a sweat lodge many years ago, and I was introduced to this pipe carrier, Red Cloud, out here in the Anishinaabe tribe. I'm not sure what tribe it is, but the Anishinaabe, the original people in the Michigan area. And I was really studying the spirituality of Native Americans at the time. And I do these, I have a little Native American in my background. And I always look for the roots. I go back to the original as far as I can. And I got to meet this gentleman. People come to you at the right times in your life. And we were doing sweat lodges. And during the sweat lodge, I paid a lot of attention, and I looked at the spiritualness and the depth of it. It was incredible. It was really incredible. And this man, Red Cloud, did a good job and taught and shared wonderfully. Well, that was during a time in my life when I was a little unsure of the direction, not unlike now. We get to the point to where we've achieved things and then we look for new directions, right? Or something's not working, we look for that point in the right direction. So during the spiritual quest, you ask for guidance, and I did. And I asked for guidance several times. I laid myself open and allowed the grandfathers and the grandmothers and our Mother Earth and the whole gambit of spirits and spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it, for guidance. And then you listen. And one of the sweat lodges hit me like a ton of bricks. I remember being so low to the ground and sweating inside that lodge, and the energy and the visions and the things that were going on, I really couldn't explain at the time. And I should have never gotten the car to drive home that night. It was in Manistee, so it was a long drive home. And I was still out there and seeing things on the way home. Luckily, we got home. Me and Brian Rolls, and we got home. And from that moment on, the visions were explained to me, and I looked for the signs of what this meant and that meant, and everything started happening. I got an abundance of students, which told me, okay, because you still need to teach. I was thinking about not teaching anymore and going back into the financial industry, and all of a sudden, boom, I got this group of students that were fantastic, and most of them are still with me today. And they pulled me away from that idea and said, no, you're teaching. You're teaching. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay, here we go. The location that we were in at the time was negative for us. And all of a sudden, wham, the opportunity to move to the house that we're in now, which my wife manifested through her law of attraction. She knew it was hers, it was coming, and the timing just went boom, and here we are. And everything shifted and changed. And all of a sudden, I realized I was too busy to go to the sweats. I could not find the time to get back to the sweat lodge. And it weighed on me a little bit. And what I had realized about a year later, I got what I wished for, everything. And in the event of getting everything I wished for, some of the things in my life went away. I looked at the negative aspect of it as, oh, I'm so busy, I can't do this anymore. Oh, I'm going to miss all of the wonderful things over there because I have this going on. When it should have been, I have all of these wonderful things going on, and I have this incredible memory of what I used to be able to do. That makes sense? So I got everything I wished for. You got to be careful what you wish for. Ask and ye shall receive. You got to ask intelligently, okay? One of the couples that came in last night mentioned the same thing. I asked, I said, how you guys doing? What are you doing? We got a million things backed up. We got this and that going on. And I just stop them and remind them, isn't this what you wanted? They, yep. So who does it to you? You do it to yourself. I hope that that's the worst problem you experience, not only today, but for the rest of your life, is the abundance of things that you need in your, not need, the abundance of things that you need in your life shower you so much that you find that all of the other stuff that may be negative, or even some positive stuff that you can put in your memory as, wow, that was awesome, fade away. I wish that on you. Now be careful what you wish for. So I wish for you and for me and for everybody that you receive an abundance of wonderful things, the things you need to take care of yourself and others, the ability to share and become the best person or best you that you can be. I wish that on you. And that being said, I think I'm going to say goodnight or goodbye. Good morning. I love you very much. Thank you for the 30 minutes on shifting yourself out of autopilot. I have one suggestion so far, and then I'll do some research. We'll come back. But living with purpose and shifting out of autopilot, one of the things I do know for sure is to slow down. This is action step number one. Cindy Quinn's got 5 action steps, and that's my recommendation. You write down 5 action steps. And thank you, Deb. I love you very much. I haven't seen you in a while. I got a bad haircut because I don't see you. So you let me know when you're ready, and I'll let it grow back out because I cut my own hair. I got off track. Sorry. 5 action steps is what I want to do. I'll come back with that. But the number one action step today, okay, I will. I'll give you a call. I got to let it grow out first, though. I cut it too short. I just went, it was easy. But, so give me a couple of weeks, and I'll come and see you, baby. Number one, slow your morning down. Try not to, this is with living with purpose and shifting out of autopilot so that you're focused on your goal every day, is slow your morning down. Don't jump out of bed and hit the ground running, look for the coffee cup, and then keep moving. No, please don't. I want you with me before you get out of bed, roll over and hug that significant other. Hold them for a minute and remember your dreams and write them down and just hang out for a minute. If you don't wake up on time, set your alarm clock earlier. If you have to trick yourself, set your clock 15 minutes ahead or 30 minutes ahead so you roll over and you think it's later than it is. But does that work? Yeah, something like that. But slow down. When you get up, take your time. If you're showering or brushing your teeth, don't rush. And please get up and give yourself plenty of time. I know that if I wake up 30 minutes early, or 30 minutes late, 30 minutes later than I need to get up out of bed, I'm behind by 4 hours by noon, right? So I make sure I don't force myself, but I consciously make an effort to get up as early. It's tougher when the sun's not awake for me. Really tough when it starts to get dark. And have you noticed it's already getting dark? At 5 o'clock in the morning, it's dark again. I give up. But I love you. Deb, I'll give you a call. We'll set something up. I hope you're feeling great. I really do. Everybody, I hope you guys are feeling great. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's Thursday. I'm traveling again. I get to go sing some shows this weekend. It's a full moon tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. our time, and it's supposed to be awesome. So I hope you enjoy it, relish in the moment, or revel in the moment. Have a good time, right? And I will see you in the morning, probably about 6:30 or 8. Which would you prefer? I'll let you know when I wake up. All right. I love you very much. Good morning, Sarah. Peace. And 5, 4, 3, 2.